These are the 3D VIEW-MASTER Adventure Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny in the Chiseler. VIEW-MASTER Reel 1. Picture 1. Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd were strolling past the art museum one sunny day. "Gracious," Elmer said, pointing to a sign on the museum door. "A $1,000 first prize for the best original sculpture." "Hot sickety," said Bugs, munching his carrot. "I'm gonna latch on to that prize." "Are you crazy?" asked Elmer. "You're not sculptor." "Look, Doc, I've got talent, real talent," bragged Bugs. Why I'll carve a masterpiece for super duper. I'll be known as Bugs Bunny, the great chiseler. Picture 2. Bugs rented a studio and bought a huge slab of marble. Donning his new smock, he said, "Fotsy, old pal, that prize money will soon be in my pocket." Elmer craned his neck upward. "I really don't see how you can carve an object of art from that rock." "It's a tinge, Doc," boasted Bugs. "Stick around and I'll show you how a real chiseler works." Picture 3. Bugs climbed to the top of his ladder. From there he chiseled and hammered away at the marble. At last he managed to carve out a strange-looking head. "Hey, Doc," he called to Elmer. "How does it look?" Elmer held his nose. "Pooh, it's terribly." "You know, Fotsy, you're right," agreed Bugs after he inspected the lopsided figure. "I'll start over." Picture 4. Bugs pulled at his whiskers, wondering what to make next. "A horse would be nice," suggested Elmer. "That's it," said Bugs, his nose twitching excitedly. "I'll chisel a thoroughbred." Scraps of marble fell to the floor as Bugs carved the figure of a horse, rearing on its hind legs. Sleeping back to admire his work, Bugs said, Perhaps I should make that one knee a bit smaller." Chop! The chisel cut through the horse's leg. "Ch-ch!" sighed Bugs as it fell to the floor. "I'll have to begin once again." Picture 5. "But what?" he pondered, scratching an ear. "That's a real problem," admitted Elmer. "I'll carve a cat," Bugs cried, springing into action. Scraps of marble grew high around him as he chiseled a cat from the ruined horse. "Hot sickety!" he exclaimed when the sculpture was completed. "A prize winner if I ever saw one." Just then Elmer's dog entered the studio. With a loud growl he bared his teeth and sprang upon the cat. "You rascal!" scolded Elmer. "You broke it." Picture 6. But Bugs was not discouraged. "Just proves how good I am. Your dog thought it was real." He began to chisel once more. "But get him out of here, Doc. It's almost time for the exhibition, and I don't want him to wreck the prize-winning mouse. I'm gonna carve." Elmer started to leave with his dog when he spotted a special scrap of marble. Excited, he rushed it to Bugs. "Look, I found you a prize winner," he cried. "It's got rare beauty and it's very original." Bugs whirled on Elmer and shouted, "Scram! Take your mud and that hunk of junk and scram." "All right, if you insist," answered Elmer. Picture 7. Bugs rushed his sculpture, entitled Mouse, to the museum only minutes before the judging. He stood by it daydreaming of all the carrots he could buy with the prize money when the church announced, "The first prize is awarded to Elmer Fudd for his great original sculpture, Upward Through Time." The church then placed a blue ribbon on the very scrap of marble Elmer had packed from Bugs' studio. "You chiseler," raged Bugs, shaking his fist at Elmer, "and I don't mean sculpture." Duffy Duck in Moon Man, VIEW-MASTER Reel 2, Picture 1. Duffy Duck had shimmered in the north, but now it was fall and the air was getting nippy, so he joined a flight of ducks headed south for the winter. He paused on a cloud as he flew over Florida and opened his suitcase carrying his summer gear. "Wow," he said, donning his sunglasses. "These are so dark I can hardly see through 'em." The cloud on which he was riding floated over Cape Canaveral, and at that very moment 3 rocket ships took off for the moon. Picture 2. Duffy, looking through his sunglasses, thought the rockets were ducks. He beat his wings like those of a hummingbird trying to catch up with them as they zoomed out into space. "Those are the biggest ducks I've ever seen," panted Duffy, his tongue hanging out. "And they're sure in a mad rush to get south." Picture 3. Duffy managed to catch up with one of the ducks, hitchhiking a ride on its tail fin, and none too soon, because by now Duffy's wing feathers were hanging in tatters. Gasping for breath, he opened his suitcase and put on his high-altitude air mask. He clung to the rocket, its beat wiping off more of his feathers as it raced on toward the moon. Picture 4. At last the rocket ships landed amidst the jagged rocks and lunar craters. Bedraggled and still wearing his air mask, Duffy slid from his perch. "Phew," he said as he waddled through the moon dust. "This flight to the south has sure been a rough one." The scientists, dressed in spacesuits, stepped from the rockets. "Look," they cried, pointing at Duffy's webbed tracks. "Something lives on the moon." Picture 5. Just then the scientists saw Duffy, who was indeed an odd-looking duck. Swiftly they grabbed a net and slung it over him. "We've captured a moon man," they exclaimed. "We'll take him to Earth and study his habits." Moon man? Back to Earth? Now Duffy realized he was not in the south. Before he could tell the scientists it was all a mistake, they hurried him into one of the rocket ships and zoomed back to Florida. Picture 6. Duffy, enjoying the excitement he created back on Earth, quickly decided to pretend he was a moon man. He lived in a swank Miami Beach hotel while scientists studied his moon man habits. Now famous, a snap of his fingers brought the entire hotel staff to his side. This is the way to winter in the south, thought Duffy, lolling in the sun by the pool. But Duffy's silver lining had a cloud. Nearby, one scientist was showing 2 X-ray films to another. One was of the moon man, the other of a duck. Picture 7. "The X-rays are identical," cried the 2 scientists. "We've been tricked." They ripped off his face mask. "This is no moon man," said one. "This is just a plain ordinary duck." And they booted him from the hotel. Oh, well, sighed Daffy as he sailed through the air. At least he was kind enough to kick me south. Bugs Bunny and Porky Pig in TV trouble. VIEW-MASTER Reel 3, Picture 1. Porky Pig invited Petunia Pig over one evening to watch Maverick on his brand new television set. It was almost time for the program to start when suddenly the images began to wiggle and wobble across the screen. Porky rushed to the set. Golly, there are so many knobs. I don't know which ones to turn. I'll phone a TV expert and have him come and adjust it. Tell him to hurry, Petunia said. I don't want to miss Maverick. It's my favorite TV program. Picture 2. Bugs Bunny soon arrived. I'm your trusty TV repairman, he told Porky. Where's the broken set? It isn't broken, explained Porky. It only needs to be adjusted. Consider it done, said Bugs as he twisted the dial and turned all of the knobs. Are you sure you know what you're doing? Asked Porky. The picture's upside down now. Relax, dog, relax. I was just testing, answered Bugs. You need a new aerial. Your signal is weak. Picture 3. Bugs scrambled to the top of Porky's house. From his repair kit, he took the framework of 2 umbrellas. Shaking them into a weird-looking aerial, he nailed it to the roof. Hey, dog, Bugs shouted down the chimney. How's the reception now? Is the picture sharp and clear? The picture is clear, answered Porky, but I don't like it too much. Picture 4. Bugs hurried back into the living room. The picture on the television screen was perfect. Of Porky's roof and the odd aerial Bugs had just erected. Most peculiar, said Bugs. The trouble must be in the noodle rotorator. Listen to me, Bugs Bunny, Porky said, getting angry. I'm going out to buy some TV snacks and you'd better have my set fixed so Petunia and I can watch Maverick when I get back, or I won't pay you 1 red cent. Picture 5. Alone, Bugs started tearing the set apart. Probably just some gadget out of place, he muttered to himself, fumbling with the giant picture tube. I'll remove this wetzies and tighten a few screws. The tube slipped from his fingers as he lifted it from the set and shattered all over the floor. Bugs' nose twitched nervously. Now how was he going to fix the set so Petunia and Porky could watch Maverick? Picture 6. Suddenly he had an idea. No wonder I'm called Bugs the Brainy Bunny, he said, sweeping up the broken tube. Toolkit in hand, Bugs was leaving as Porky returned. Turn your set on, pal, he told Porky, and you'll see Maverick better than ever. Picture 7. Porky and Petunia fixed their TV trays and settled down once again to watch Maverick. But when the show started, their eyes almost popped from their heads. Bugs Bunny was sitting inside the broken TV set, dressed as Brad Maverick. Porky shook his head. It only needed adjusting. It is in color and stereo, consoled Petunia.